why Dez Bryant going back to the Cowboys isn't as crazy as it sounds.
And I've got another installment of the award-winning That Dude's Dude. But we start every show with a Whitlock. What you got today, big dog?
Oh, man, I got Le'Veon Bell and one of the greatest holdouts in NFL history. He's the biggest winner of a contract dispute since Emmitt Smith. Conventional wisdom says that all the new rules in football have diminished the running back and elevated the quarterback. There is some truth there if you have one of the 3 or 4 most skilled quarterbacks in the league. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Drew Brees can consistently win games without a reliable running game or running back. Pretty much everybody else needs a top-flight running back. The Steelers need Bell more than they need Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. Just ask Big Ben Roethlisberger. He and the Steelers look like trash without Le'Veon.
That was trash.
They look almost identical to the 1993 Cowboys who tried being cheap with Emmitt Smith and lost the first 2 games of the season when Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin couldn't make up for the absence of Emmitt. Le'Veon has skipped 4 games so far this season, and the Steelers are 1-2-1. This is not an aberration. Since Le'Veon arrived, when he runs for 100 yards, the Steelers are 17-3, Marcellus. When Antonio Brown gets 100 receiving yards, they're 26-13. Big Ben knows what I'm talking about. He sounds desperate.
Yeah, if he can come back and help us and be ready to go, then we'll be ready to welcome him back. So, you know, I think there was a lot of things were said earlier in the year, but that's kind of in the past now. We've moved on, and hopefully he's moving on in the sense of getting back and ready to get with us.
Anybody remember a month ago when the Steelers offensive linemen were trash-talking Le'Veon Bell and singing the praises of James Conner? The Steelers swallowed the conventional wisdom that running backs are interchangeable, that the new NFL is a purely quarterback league. We all need to stop it. Do I love great quarterbacks? Hell yeah. Patrick Mahomes is my new favorite player. I might try to grow his crazy hairstyle.
Don't do it.
But running back is still the most exciting position in football. If I had to choose between watching Brady, John Elway, or Joe Montana's best games and watching the best games of Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, or O.J. Simpson, not even close. Nothing is more compelling than watching one back torture 11 defenders for an afternoon. Let's quit pretending the only reason to turn on the TV on Sundays is because Brady might throw a game-winning touchdown pass. Beyond that, let's quit acting like Bell, Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, and Kareem Hunt aren't still very essential to winning. Football hasn't so radically changed that picking up 4 or 5 yards on first down on the ground is unimportant. Not every quarterback can manipulate the safeties with their eyes and pre-snap reads the way Brady and Brees can. Most quarterbacks need a running back to move and fool safeties, which is the key to beating a defense. Look at what Christian McCaffrey is doing for Cam Newton this season. Look at what Gurley is doing for Jared Goff. It's time for the Steelers to pay Le'Veon Bell big money.
Pay up.
Big Ben isn't the same without him. It's time for us in the media to drop the narrative that running backs aren't as valuable as they used to be. Bell won his contract war with the Steelers and proved once and for all running backs are still highly valuable. In fact, for quarterbacks, they're more valuable than wide receivers. Marcellus, big victory here, in my opinion, for Le'Veon Bell. He has won his contract dispute and put running backs back on the pedestal they belong.
You can pound this table all you want. No way did he win this negotiation. No way. He didn't get what he wanted. How do you spell? Yet. Okay, we can go yet, but let's live in your Whitlock right now.
Yep.
Present. Let's spell Le'Veon Bell with a capital L. And that's what happened in these negotiations. Capital L. He didn't get what he wanted. The first thing he said was,
Yet.
I want a long-term deal. Has he gotten a long-term deal yet, Todd Gurley style? Okay, so let's move on. All right, now you say, I'm going to hold out. I'm not signing that franchise tender. I'm going to hold out as long as possible. We know what that means, week 10. Reports are he's coming back before week 10. If you're going to rest fully. How come you're not resting fully? Did you get what you wanted there? And then last point is, not only is he going to come back early, prematurely if you're his agent, he's coming back with the talk of, I want to be a Steeler for life if they want me. So look, all the levels of this negotiation or the bravado of the negotiation, he's falling short on every one of them.
I said this yesterday, but again, you get married, you get out of the game, you lose all context. You can't read the tea leaves anymore.
Oh, that's me? That's me?
You can't read the tea leaves.
Help me out.
There's a moment when you're dating somebody and you go, oh, she's all in or he's all in.
Mm-hmm.
Or, oh, I'm going to get some. And that's where Le'Veon Bell is. He's like, oh, I'm going to get some.
Oh.
They're going to give me what I want. He's read the tea leaves. They've been embarrassed without him. Big Ben and Antonio Brown can't even get along without him. Big Ben's play has fallen off. They're 1-2-1. Mike Tomlin can't win without him. He has read the tea leaves, and no, have they given him the contract yet?
Right.
But he's back going, just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time. One more date. Cheesecake Factory. One more time. It's on.
That's all it's going to take.
Look, Odell Beckham went through the same beat, so I respect that. Without the holdout, but still, internally, there was a conversation that was had that said, Odell, you calm this down, and we got you. So maybe that is happening, but I am not investing my future and banking on a franchise that I've been with for multiple years, so all of a sudden have that change of heart without actually putting pen to paper. I need to see that.
Let's go to the second layer here then, because this is why I think it's inevitable. They have to. I think, what do you think of my contention that Le'Veon Bell has proven that, I think he's more valuable than Antonio Brown and the success of that team. And so I also just think just more valuable, but so that means he deserved, his original demand was I need to be paid like Antonio Brown. I think he's proven that point to the Steelers organization that he's more valuable, just as valuable. And so eventually they have to concede that point.
Yeah, I mean, he had a tremendous platform to stand on. And the premise was not only am I a top running back, but I'm your number 2 receiver behind Antonio Brown. And so you can't just divide up my value. You have to supplement my value. And that's what he should have stood on. You're absolutely correct. Think about it. Like, there's no Antonio Brown greatness this year so far. No games over 100 receiving yards. And what's the difference? Now we're saying the chemistry between Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown is off. Why? Juju didn't get as many reps with Ben Roethlisberger in the offseason and preseason as Antonio Brown did. It's because that special sauce, it's special for a reason. And it is Le'Veon Bell. So certainly he has proven his value in his absence, like you said with Emmitt Smith.
And I think we all got caught up in the narrative. Hey, it's a quarterback league, it's a passing league, it's the receiver, and the league has value. They've been comfortable paying receivers. I think this year when people sit back and look at what Christian McCaffrey is helping Cam Newton do, and what Todd Gurley, and again, I don't want to take anything away from Jared Goff.
Right.
But Todd Gurley's just a big part of that. If you have that back in the backfield that you have to respect, it's easier for Cam Newton or Jared Goff, any of these guys, Matt Ryan without Devontae Freeman in Atlanta. Look at, they're 1-3 and struggling a bit. I think the running back is having a resurgence and reproving its value, and the league and the media and the executives in the league are going to have to react. I would love to be Le'Veon Bell's agent right now because I think I got the wind at my back.
Yeah, timing is everything. I mean, a couple of years ago, you're being devalued. The narrative is you're devalued. The carries are down. The yards are down. And everyone's saying, hey, we'd rather have an extra receiver out there. But playing quarterback at the franchise level when you're one of the premier quarterbacks, it's all about that extra guy in the box. It's all about that safety. So before we were saying, hey, quarterback, you're responsible for manipulating that safety with your eyes, with your footwork. But you're saying, which is even more important, which has always been football, have somebody back there that I respect, and the safety's already in that box. So it's just a numbers game that now we're starting to see that running back can help.
And I tell you, this is, again, if I'm Le'Veon Bell and I look at Gurley, I look at Christian McCaffrey, it's not only do you have to respect them if they get handed the ball, we've moved into a zone where these safeties can't handle these running backs in pass coverage.
Yeah, good
and
point.
So that's a quarterback's best friend, handing him the ball and or throwing him the ball, because you go look at Dallas and what happened with Dak last week. The number one guy they're targeting in the passing game is Ezekiel Elliott, who made the big play down the field. The running back position, to me, its value is resurging. I've never given up on its value. I certainly, as a TV draw, it's driven me crazy. Oh, and people just tune in to see the quarterbacks. I was like, man, you know how long I've been showing up to see Walter Payton and O.J. Simpson and Barry Sanders and these guys? That's who that's the number one draw for me as a television element. As much, and I love the quarterbacks, obviously. To me, they're important for winning and all that. But just sitting back and enjoying football, I'd rather see a running back do his thing.
Okay, you've been through too many negotiations to not respect that there's another side to this table. That on the other side, there's going to be pushback. And here's the pushback. Okay, you're telling me all this value for the running back, and you need the running back to have the premier passers of the game live up to their optimal levels. Tom Brady, how's that running game looking? Okay. Oh, no. Oh, you don't want to hear Tom Brady? Aaron Rodgers, how that running game look? So I'm just saying, every negotiation I've been in, even when I thought it was a slam dunk for me, they had something to push back.
And I'm giving you Rodgers, Brady, Breeze, that's a special case of really experienced, really talented quarterbacks. When you go look at these young quarterbacks, under 30, a Cam, Goff, in order to get them there, to that over, you need a running back. And then you got guys like Ben that, again, he's getting exposed without a running back. So I feel very comfortable.
Look at the camera trying to get out of this. This is the question for you, Mr. Kansas City. Which one is more exciting to watch, Tyreek Hill or Kareem Hunt? Move on. Now look at the camera because you know that answer. Stop it. Nobody wants to watch Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt won the whole – he ain't Barry Sanders.
Okay.
He ain't O.J. Simpson.
He was a beast, though, and you said I'd rather watch the running back.
Tyreek Hill plays a little running back.
He is in the backfield sub.
All right, stick around. Later in the show, we'll give you our approval ratings for Le'Veon Bell. Here are our ratings for Le'Veon before this whole mess. Myself and I both had him as an all-star. We'll see how his holdout affects his ratings. But first, Marcellus will take us through the best plays from big men across football. That dude's is hurt.